It's a really exciting time to be in the industry. I've been doing this for 40 years, and in my career, there's never been a time when the industry is more dynamic, more change, more things happening than right now. To be 30 years old and entering into the industry today would be something spectacular. I'm going to spend just a few minutes and talk about Eacom, the history of the company, and the origins of our talent development on our technical team, of which Sylvain is a member of that team. And then I would like him to come up and talk about some of the projects that they work on and really what motivates him to get engaged in this business. Eacom is a relatively new company. It was formed during the recession. In 2010, Eacom bought Domtar sawmills in Quebec and Ontario. Today we have 3-dimension mills, 4 stud mills, 1 I-joist plant in Sault Ste. Marie, and 1 reman plant, and our corporate office is just 2 blocks down the street. In the early days, it was really tough going for Eacom. In 2010, the industry was still in recession. A lot of our mills weren't running full-time, market curtailments. Many of our mills weren't profitable, similar to a lot of other people in the industry. And then in 2012, January 2012, our best mill, our most profitable mill, nearly burned to the ground. It was pretty tough times for Eacom, pretty tough times in the industry. When I joined in 2013, I spent about the first 3 or 4 months, maybe 6 months, touring around the mills, getting to know the staff, getting to know the mills, and I came to 4 conclusions in my first 4 months. One is we had a lot of people working really, really hard just to keep the wheels on the bus. 2, the fiber we had was spectacular. I'd never worked directly with Eastern SPF, and it's second to none. It's beautiful fiber. When I walked through the mills, I was surprised at the equipment. It was better than I expected. The mills were better capitalized than I expected. But here's the point that I think will drive the discussion today. A lot of the equipment that we had didn't run very well, didn't run like it was supposed to run. I watched operator after operator fighting with a stacker, a lug loader, a trimmer, a piece of equipment that wasn't quite right. And when I asked mill managers about fixing that, they told me, we don't have the skills in our workforce to do that. Out of 700 employees, we didn't have a single PLC technician that could adjust the timing on a lug loader. If we really needed help, we called the vendor, and they would come in and do their thing for 4 hours or 40 hours, and then they would leave. Continuous improvement is a 24/7 endeavor. We're asking employees to get engaged to figure out how to make things run better. If we don't give them the tools to do that, it's impossible. So we set out to change that, and our plan was to build a technical team, invest in the human side of our organization. We started with 1 guy. He was a pretty special guy. He is a pretty special guy. He's still with us. He's an electrical engineer. He's a master electrician on high and low voltage. He was 20 years in the Navy. He's been at least 25 years in sawmills and plywood plants. While working, he got his master's and his PhD in engineering management. But that's not what's special about this guy. What's special about him is his can-do attitude. There was not a problem that he wasn't willing to dive in and work on until it was solved. And that was contagious in our organization. With him, we've now hired or recruited from within 13 project specialists. We have men and women with control specialty, optimization and scanning, project management, mechanical, hydraulics. We have a broad spectrum, and that group are available for all of our mills. And they do move around a lot, and they're in very, very high demand. As you can imagine, 13 people, highly skilled people, is expensive. That group cost us $2 million a year. We're investing $2 million a year in the human side of the business to try and make our business better. We also do a little bit of capital, not a lot. We spend about $15 to $20 million a year on capital. Much of it is for obsolete equipment or replacement. Here's a few improvement projects, and Sylvain will go through a couple of them. But we have really stepped up the volume and performance of the company. In 2015, we produced 2013, a little over 500 million, and we will be over 900 million board feet of production this year. All that improvement came in two ways. One is we restarted a mill, Ear Falls Stud Mill, that had been idle for 6 years. And every single one of our mills has increased the volume every single year. I know for a fact that we wouldn't have accomplished this without our technical team, particularly Ear Falls. If we would have relied on just vendor support, the mill still would not be running like it is today. Today, Ear Falls itself, one mill, is running well enough in this kind of market to pay for our $2 million technical team in 2 months. 5 years ago, Eacom's financial performance was not well. We compare ourselves every quarter with our competitors in the industry, and we were probably at the bottom of the pack 5 years ago. That has changed. We're now better than half of them on a margin basis, and we're flirting with the best in the Canadian industry. That didn't all come from just our technical team. We worked on talent in our operations management, in our HR group, in our forestry group. But the technical team is the most striking example of how we can take human capital and develop some skills and improve the performance of the company. Sylvain Messier joined us 2.5 years ago as part of that technical team. He was an optimization and scanning specialist. He is an optimization specialist. He's going to come up and talk about some of the projects. But what I really want you to hear from Sylvain is what motivates him. Why is he excited about this industry? Why is he excited about working at Eacom? Because I think that's really, really important. Because the future of our company, the future of all companies, depend on people in his generation to get really excited about the business. Please help me welcome Sylvain Messier.